Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your breakfast bankroll, Sunday, November 21st, 2021, as we get ready for week 11 in the NFL. For your fantasy teams, take out all your Denver and Ram guys as they are on a bye. So from Cape Cod to Cancun, from Vegas to the Vatican, myself and Scott Webb will have you covered from the overnight openers to the movers and shakers today. A lot of steam going on, some due to injuries, some due to, well, maybe it was the brown bag, the duffel bags. Maybe it was the sharps coming in and getting their price, and now the public picking and scavenging through these numbers. But without further ado, my man, my co-host, the one and only Mr. Scott E. Webb. Scotty, my brother, what is happening?
Morning, Jeff. It's not cold here, but it's not real sunny yet right now. It's one of those days in Florida. Well, it is what it is, but I guess I'm hoping today's better than yesterday turned out. How about that?
Well, I was going to start the show with for our ECSI VIP guys, we went 3-4. Okay. I generally don't give out 7 games in a day. Okay. But with all the college football, with all the college basketball, and we sprinkled in one NHL game, it was 300 games, not even including the UFC. So we went 1-2 in college football. We hit Utah first half. They won 28-0. We went 1-2 in college hoops. We hit Brown outright. They were catching 4. And we had the Calgary Flames plus 105 at the Islanders, and we won 5-2. But my point was, I was happy as hell to get out of Dodge 3-4. Let me tell you, with so many games, you leave a lot of information on the desk. And I'm sitting there. I had Tennessee first half. I had Ohio State team total. And the funny thing is they get it in the first half. And then I think they got one more touchdown the rest of the game. I mean, they could have scored 100 if they wanted to. It looked that way, at least. Thoughts about yesterday, Scotty?
I thought that yesterday was kind of interesting. So the only game I handicapped, I gave out 3 plays on the show, lost all 3. So that's not a good thing. And, it makes me all mad and all that crap, but whatever. I mean, you just live on, it's not the first time I lost 3 games. So then you start to review your handicap, right? So I went back and where's my sheet here? I had this game, Iowa State plus the 3.5 against Oklahoma. So first of all, at the end of the first half, the score is 7-7, and the only score that Oklahoma had was their quarterback, scramble run. I don't know. He went 70 yards for a touchdown. That's the only score they had the whole game or the first half. So Iowa State's playing really good. They're playing good defense, and I'm watching this game and I'm really questioning what the offense is doing, because they had some opportunities. And I thought that the head coach, and this is what I'm getting ready to get into a little bit. Yeah, I think the head coach was just doing stupid stuff and getting real cute. Like they'd get to be like 3rd and 3 or something like that, and then how they'd do like some kind of reverse pass shit or some stumps, and then they just got crushed, so they had to punt. But that wasn't the worst of it. So it's 7-7. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how long, but it was less than a minute. There's like 50 seconds to go. And Iowa State's got the ball. They're in plus territories. They're at like the 40-yard line of Oklahoma. And, they're moving into trying to get the field goal or whatever to get ahead, 10-7 by halftime. So Brock Purdy rolls out, goes to the left, and he's kind of fumbling around, and he's looking for somebody, and there's a guy in his face, and he's like pump faking the guy to get him to jump and do whatever. And sure as shit, God damn it, he fumbled the football, and the guy he's trying to fake out picks it up, runs it back for a touchdown. With 30 seconds to go or something like that in the first half, and I'm going, holy shit, throwing my hat and everything else and cussing up a storm. And then at the end of the game, they're right there at the end of the game. I think they're down a touchdown. I needed them to score the touchdown to put it into overtime so I could at least have a chance to cover this bet. And they're moving down the field, and they call timeouts at the wrong spots. They do stupid stuff, and then they got no more timeouts. They get a first down right at Oklahoma's 20-yard line. They spike the ball. So now they have, 3 downs to go in from the 20-yard line. And they do these fade to the end zone passes. And I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? You haven't been doing this all game. Now you're throwing it fades to the end zone to guys that are covered. And where they were successful, Jeff, they had a tight end. The tight end caught 11 passes yesterday and 2 touchdowns. And I'm like, throw the ball to the goddamn tight end. So sure as shit, it's 4th down, and there he is wide open for a first down inside the 10-yard line. He throws the ball. It's too high. And it gets tipped in and it's intercepted by the Oklahoma kid, and I lose the bet. Then I'm sitting there and going, holy shit, how can you overthrow this guy? He's 6'7", for God's sakes. Anyway, overthrows the guy. And, it's college kids. They do whatever. But I felt like Iowa State outplayed them in that game. And then I looked at the numbers. They had 25 first downs, and Oklahoma had 15. And they had 361 yards. And that's not very many when you have 25 first downs, to be quite honest. And Oklahoma had 305. And remember, 80 of that or 70 of that came on one run. And they had 38 minutes of time of possession in that game, and Oklahoma had 21. How do you lose that game? So that's the kind of shit that's been going on with me. And then the next game was East Carolina, right? East Carolina's playing the Navy, and I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be fun. East Carolina's going to run up and down the field on this team, and that's what they did. They punted one time. East Carolina punted one time. Now the final score was 38-35. They won the game. They had to cover 4, not 3. So anyway, I was looking at this numbers. And they had 24 first downs to 17 first downs. They had 563 yards of offense and gave up only 382. Like I said, they punted one time. And to get to the 38-35 final, the kicker had to make a 54-yard goddamn field goal at the end of the game. And did he do it? Of course he did. And that was it. And they had the ball 4th and goal at the 2-yard line and didn't make it. And I'm like, oh my God, this team could have scored 700 points. And I just sit here and I think to myself, this is goddamn college football for you. So, it doesn't matter. You can be on the right side of these wagers and still lose. And you can look at the numbers and go, how in the hell do we lose these football games? And all this stuff happens. So it's, I guess the best advice that I can give anybody at any time ever is you're going to lose, and you're going to lose a lot. And I mean that in all sincerity, in a sense that, even if you win 55 to 56% of your bets, you're doing really, really good. So that means you're going to lose 44 to 43 to 42% of your bets. And if you think about that, you're going to make 10 bets and lose 4 of them. And holy shit, that sucks. But that's how this game works. And as long as you like what you always tell people, as long as you play the games for the same amount of money and the same amount of risk, the reality becomes as you can generally keep a hold of your bankroll, you can continue to build it and you can continue to get there. And at the end of the season, you can go, holy shit, look what we did. We got some money. Let's go have some pizza.
And on my timeline, I was spitting venom too. I mean, I talk about the fact that while we're watching NFL today, Circa comes out with their numbers later this afternoon. So we get them programmed in. We start plugging around with them Sunday night. That's what we do. So we have a full week of this. I got notepads and notepads of notes. This line going this way, this line going this way. What the hell's going on? Team totals here, team totals there. And I was spitting venom on my timeline on Twitter yesterday. I said, hats off to Clemson. hats off to Florida State. Why? Because their kids did not give up. They didn't give up on their coaches. They didn't fold their tent. They didn't grab their ball and leave. Clemson plays for national titles. Their national title was gone a long, long time ago. The chance to get into the Final Four. But you know what? They keep on playing for Dabo. They keep on playing. They beat Wake Forest yesterday. They get an outside shot to sneak in and still get the ACC title. Okay, Florida State, bad start, season over. They keep going. The whole world was on BC yesterday. The whole world was on BC. What do? They come all the way up to BC, and they went outright. But then you look at the teams, like the Floridas, like the Texases, okay, nowhere to be found. That under-over was 70 for Florida and Missouri. Missouri couldn't stop a nosebleed. I got high school teams right here on Cape Cod that could score on Missouri. And here's at halftime, the two teams combined for 5 field goals. I mean, are you kidding me? So my point is, it doesn't matter. Like you said, they're kids. They're kids. Okay? Now we come over to the paid professionals where you think you know even more. And we all know what NFL stands for any given Sunday. So the sermons are over, boys and girls. We're going to get to the spreadsheet. So let me pull up we're going to use Wager Talk again today. I'm going to go over some quick overnight steam moves, some from injury, some maybe the sharps are diving in. I don't know, but let me see if I can pull them up for everyone here.
Hey, I got an interesting one for you here, Jeff. I was looking at just to see if I wanted to see if the Ohio State Michigan line was out yet for this week. And there's a lot of places that have put it out, but that wasn't the interesting thing. The DraftKings put out Florida State, Florida, and they got Florida -10. What do you think of that?
Yeah, and it's so funny because the EV guys, the CLV guys, the look-ahead guys, they're already coming out for that Ohio State Michigan game. Oh, I already got Ohio State -6, and they're pumping their chests out. Again, don't forget, the public and the DGens remember what they saw last. And those numbers are out there for a reason. So I started to say this yesterday. The Ohio State-Michigan game already reminds me of the Ravens-Miami game 2 Thursdays ago. Baltimore 8-0 against Miami, their last 8. Their average win is by 30. And they're going to throw out a number that's going to shock the world because everyone remembers Ohio State could have scored 80 yesterday if they wanted to, right? And Michigan, we all know Michigan and Harbaugh, they can't beat Ohio State. We already know that. So don't be shocked when you see that number. And for me, I'm all in on Florida State, right? And then, like you said, they throw a number at 10. And I'm sitting there scratching my head saying, all right, I can't take it. I can't take Florida State plus the 10. I'm sorry. Even though they've already quit on Mullins, we all know Mullins is fired. But Vegas knows something. They know something. Maybe they're going to fire him on Monday and they're going to play for whoever the intern is. I don't know. But it is crazy. So overnight, the Browns went to 13. We knew that because of the quarterback. Goff is out. There's been a little steam on San Fran that is at 7 at Circa and Westgate. Buffalo has reached 7 across the Vegas Strip. A half-point move on Miami now to a flat 4 at the Jets. The Cam revenge game is hit 3.5. Baltimore has gone down to 4.5. That's more on Lamar being sick. Steam on Philly now up to -3 against New Orleans. Green Bay holding at 1.5 at Minnesota. There is a 2 on Cincinnati at Vegas. Seattle gone from -1 now to -3, obviously with the thought process that Murray is going to be out. Kansas City staying at 2.5, so beware there. And Chargers a flat 6 against Pittsburgh with Ben cleared to play. The board is yours, my brother.
I hate this board.
Just to interrupt, just got the update. Lamar Jackson now is probable and will play.
I just think that this is a pretty tough one today. So I did some things here, and I came up with some stuff to stay away from certain problems. So one of the games that I like today is I like Cleveland and Detroit in that matchup. I don't like Detroit very well. I don't think anybody likes Detroit very well. They're a scrappy team. Well, so being a scrappy team means I don't really want to sit there and ride the steam and have to, what do you say it was, 13 points now or something like that?
13.
So, huh?
13.
Yeah, I don't want to cover 2 touchdowns. But I also looked at it and I thought, this is the Browns team that scored 45 points. And I started looking back and started throwing EPA numbers and success rate numbers up here. And one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting here is the Cleveland Browns turn out to be the number 1 offense rushing the football in EPA. And they're going to face the number 17 defense against the run. The Browns are number 20 throwing the football, but they're going to face the number 32 defense. So that tells me that they've got a pretty good path to success on points. So when I came out with it, that my numbers in this game was 26-17 Cleveland. And then the influence is the team total for Cleveland to go up because there's nothing there for them to stop them. So I ended up with this game at 30-17 Cleveland, which is 13 points, which is right where the number is. But it's also team total number is 27.5. So I think they're going to score 4 touchdowns in this game. So I went ahead and I bet the Cleveland Browns over 27.5.
Breaking news, Lamar Jackson is out.
There you go. So my opinion on that is that Lamar Jackson's worth some points to that team. But they've already been betting it down. So how many points is he worth? I can see in some of these places, it's -1.5 somewhere out there, Jeff, for God's sakes. Somebody ought to go crazy. Holy shit. Somebody went out there and went crazy and said, okay, I'm going to go bet on the kid from Ohio State to beat this Baltimore team. Are you kidding me? Whatever.
And it's so funny because I laugh at everyone that runs to the window in the NBA, okay? And we're numbers guys here. So I'll put it in perspective. Celtics, Lakers favored by 3. And then LeBron's out. Now, LeBron averages 26 points a game, okay? LeBron is out. So now the Lakers go from -3 to +2. That's only a 5-point swing. That wasn't a 26-point swing. So I know Lamar's the general. He's what makes this thing go. But there will be an overreaction here, okay? Everyone's going to run to the window. Everyone's going to be plugging and playing Chicago. I'll take it a step further. The Arizona-Seattle game, okay? Arizona's on a bye next week. So we knew Hopkins wasn't going to play. And most people were under the assumption that Murray wasn't going to play. But Vegas played that one a little tight to the vest. They had Arizona -1, 1.5 all week. As it got closer to game time, it got to pick them, and now you see the 3. So the point is, the Sharps were already on Seattle +1.5 when the week started. Now they'll come back and they'll take Arizona +3, and they hope it lands on 1 or 2.
That's why they're sharp, right? So that was the first bet that I made. The next bet that I made is, so I feel like I'm picking on these bad teams today, but that is what it is, right? So I'm betting this Jacksonville and San Francisco game. There's some steam going on with San Francisco, but what I did was I played this game out, and it looks to me like what I'm showing with this game is my numbers say EPA wise, you've got a team that San Francisco is 8th in passing against the 29th passing defense. So I think San Francisco is going to score here. But what I don't think is going to happen is I don't think that the other team is going to be able to score very many points. So they can run the ball halfway decent, but San Francisco's got a pretty good run defense, and Jacksonville's got one of the worst passing offenses. So I ended up with this game at 26-17 San Francisco. So I don't mind that steam a little bit. I mean, I get it. I don't want to pay 7. If you paid 6.5, that's okay. But I don't think that looking at the team total here, Jacksonville, I don't think is going to get over 20 points. So I said I bet it Jacksonville under the 19.5. So I don't always bet team totals, but I played those two. And I'm going to go against what everybody's suggesting today that I've seen everywhere in the world. I'm playing Buffalo -7 against the Colts. And the reason I'm playing Buffalo -7 against the Colts is because in EPA, the Buffalo Bills are number 1 on defense against the run and number 1 on defense against the pass. And the Indianapolis Colts are EPA number 24 against the pass. And Buffalo is 4th on offense. So that gives me a little flexibility, or at least I think flexibility-wise. I got this game. It came out 31-20 or 30-29 or 21, and then with a little bit of flexibility into it, that I think the Colts are going to actually come down a little. So I got the final at 31-17. So I kind of like that one. And then the last one I bet 2 other ones, but I did bet the Minnesota Vikings I took them at +1.5 instead of on the money line, because I could see this being a 1-point type game. My numbers came out to be 24-21. Minnesota is going to win. But it's interesting that everybody thinks that Green Bay's defense has turned it around, and that's what they're surviving on. And they're playing really good defense. But the truth is Green Bay's defense is defense EPA number 7. Minnesota's defense is number 6. So there's not a whole lot of variance there, but where I thought some of the variance that was here was on what the success rate looks like. Success rate matches up. Minnesota's success rate on pass defense ranks them 5th. Green Bay's is 15th. So I kind of thought that was a little interesting that it kind of jumped that far. So I kind of liked the idea here that Minnesota could hang in there and play this game right down to the end. And I think they're going to win. But I took the 1.5, and I took the San Francisco 49ers minus the 6.5. So I got one. What I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 bets on the board. I told you I hated. How about that?
I look at this board. We're in the Circa contest, obviously, the Circa Millions. Third quarter started. We're 4-1 going into the second week. And I'm just saying off the top of my head, I know there was a few games that we took and we got the better number. And I'm not here pronouncing my chest out like this, like I am the EV king. It has nothing to do with that. I know we were on Cleveland minus the 10. I know off the top of my head we were on Chicago plus the 4.5. It was there. We also have the Vikings plus the 1.5. We had Seattle. I think they were plus 1.5 there. And then we took the Chargers minus the 6 or 5.5 there. And I'm going to add to that one. I think Vegas was proactive on this number as well, leaning towards maybe Big Ben being out and being Rudolph there, but he was cleared, and that's staying at 6. For me, from the top of my head, I like a few teams on bounce back spots here. I think this Cleveland Browns team should be, Chubb's back, Felton's back. This is the perfect get well right here with Goff being out. So I think they should be able to dictate whatever they want to do there on that game. We liked the Bears in this spot coming off the bye. Listen, I didn't have the crystal ball. I didn't know Lamar was going to be out, so I'm not rerunning back to the window there. Again, a Minnesota team who's 4-5, but if you go back and look at all their games, they come down to the last 2 minutes. They come down to overtime. I like the spot in the 4-5 home division dog here. Must win to save the season versus an 8-2 Packer team, which, listen, I know they're good. They are good, but the sense of urgency won't be there. Again, I like Seattle 3-6. Are they going to win the division? No. Okay. Second week back for Russ. I said last week Russ equaled Rust with a T. I think you're going to get a lot better Russ. Home dog. Again, they were a home dog. Now must-win situation to try to get back into that playoff run. And I like the Chargers here. 4-3 trending the wrong way. Miraculously, the Steelers 5-3-1. I like the desperation here for the Chargers to get back in the win column and to come through there. So as you said, it's an NFL Sunday where we've been working now for 6 days and nights on these games, and you wake up here and you look at the steam, you look at the overnight moves, and now Lamar out. And guys, I can't preach this any louder here, okay? It's just another day. That's all it is. So if the NFL wasn't on, and now we're into February, we're into March, we'd be looking at a college basketball slate that might have 8 to 10 great games, So whether it's NHL, NBA, just because it's NFL doesn't put it any higher on versus USA versus Canada in curling.
I don't know. It's interest-wise, maybe it does, but betting-wise, I understand. It's ping pong bet's the same as an NFL bet for all it is what it is. So we haven't talked about it yet, and we probably ought to talk about it a little bit. Dallas plays Kansas City today, and you had mentioned, hey, the line's 2.5. The line hasn't changed. It's still 2.5. I'm trying to see, looking at pregame here. I got to click it back up to see what it says. Pregame says 60% of the money, 62% of the tickets are on Dallas. And the line stays about the same, but I don't think that's a huge, variance here. And it's like it's like the third highest bet game already. And they don't even play yet. So it's kind of interesting that that's happening. But my thought is 84% of the tickets are on the over and 65% of the wagers are on the over. And the number did jump up. I don't know if 55.5 is high enough. When I broke the game down and it come out, where in the hell are they? There they are. It came out 29-28, and then Dallas team total was influenced up. So I got it 33-30 Dallas. I don't know. That's a lot of points, but at the same time, then you got to go check the weather and you got to do all the other shit. And I didn't see anything that was going to slow this down. So it's the way I see it is you've got one of the best offenses in the world. Dallas has got a great offense, and so does Kansas City. But Dallas has something in the teeth of the defense, and Kansas City doesn't. So I think Kansas City is going to have to score to keep up, and Dallas can get a stop here and there, and I think they can run away with this game. So anyway, that being said, what's your take?
The computer model has Kansas City 2.5 with a 52.5. So immediately my head goes to 28-24. That's where my head goes immediately. And when you get these high-profile games that are supposed to be shootouts, they generally aren't. I look at the 4:00 games, and I love all three of them. Cincinnati, Vegas, Arizona, Seattle, Dallas, Kansas City. I think the Cincinnati-Vegas game could be that 33-30 game, and everyone's waiting for it on the Dallas-Kansas City side. Which Kansas City side team's going to show up? The 5-15 against the spread the last 20, or the 9-2 against the spread Dallas Cowboys? They're just they're a cash cow right now. So it's kind of one of those, yesterday's team or the full season. You're supposed to take the full season model. Listen, Dallas is going to be able to do what they want here. If they want to run Zeke, they want to run Pollard, and then Kansas City pushes it up. Well, yes, Amari Cooper's out today, and he's out on Thursday. We know that. Okay, but Michael Gallup is back as well. So you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Gallup, and you got Cedric Wilson, and you got Schultz at tight end. Okay, so Dak's fine. Don't worry about it. Amari Cooper, hey, take your 10 days off, enjoy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you in 3 weeks. It's an intriguing game, and especially for all the fantasy guys out there. I know I got a lot of the return of CEH as well for Kansas City. He's been out for a handful of weeks. I know Darrell Williams on paper's done great, but it'd be interesting to see how Kansas City brings CEH. And I'm hoping for that shootout. I got CeeDee Lamb everywhere. I got CEH everywhere. I got Tyreek Hill everywhere. So my point is, but on the gambling side, Scotty, if you want my honest 2 cents, I think the sharper side is obviously Dallas. I think that's where you got to go here.
So do you want to take them over 27.5, or you want to take the plus 2.5?
I'd buy the hook and take them to +3, sprinkle a little money on them, plus 120, 125 on the money line.
Yeah, I think they win the game tonight, or this afternoon. So I got all these little wagers out here on all these 1:00 games, and then I'm going, holy shit, let's just win it. Let's just have a good day, and then I'm gonna take it all and put it on the Cowboys.
Yeah, like I said, at 2.5, I would buy the hook to 3. I'd sprinkle some money on the money line. I think you can probably get them plus 120, 125-ish. And then just like you said, enjoy the rest of the day. And then you can follow it up on the Chargers box the wire there. How's that sound?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's how you do it, right? I think you play the games that you feel good with at the 1:00 start. Pick one of them 3 or 4 o'clock games, and then kind of load up a little bit on that, and then load up on the Chargers.
Another week in the books, my brother. Monday, we'll be talking some Monday Night Football. It is a holiday week, so the Breakfast Bankroll is hoping to get some shows on Wednesday. I think I might have a few special guests. Andrew McGinnis from Wager Talk, from McGinnis Picks. Rumor has it Tuesday or Wednesday we could have a special guest, the real Vegas Dave Sharapan, be joining us. And of course, yourself, Scotty. And we're hoping to get a show on Thursday while you guys are basting the turkey. We hope to be basting your bankroll as we get ready for the 3 NFL games. And I think there's a couple college games as well. And then we go into Black Friday, where I know myself will be in Boston for the Bruins and Rangers game at 1. We'll be live from the Garden there, and then we'll get you ready for the weekend. Closing thoughts, Scott.
Don't lose all your money today. And I say that in a good way, because there's some really fun matchups in college football coming up. Mississippi plays Mississippi State this week. You've got Boise State, San Diego State, all the fun matchups, Iowa, Nebraska, North Carolina, NC State, all that stuff is this week. So don't lose all your money and not be able to play all these fun games.
Auburn, Alabama. Florida State.
Yeah, I was charting out my sheet and putting the games in there, and I'm going, yep, I know this is the fun week, and I'm like, holy shit, these are going to be pretty fun. And then I saw that damn early number of that game, and I about fell out of my chair. I really did. I'm like, what do you mean that Florida's -10 against Florida State? For God's sakes, have you seen Florida play? At least lately. And I see Auburn, Alabama -18 is what I see. And then Oregon plays Oregon State this week. And Oregon State just beat Arizona State last night. And Oregon just got beat by Utah by 80 million points. And the line in this game is Oregon -13. Oklahoma plays Oklahoma State. What do you think of the line of that one?
Where's that game at?
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State looked real good defensively too. I think they probably give you. I was right on the 18, by the way, the Alabama Auburn. I think they give you Oklahoma -3 and a hook.
Oklahoma -1.
Okay.
And then looking at these, and these are from DraftKings numbers, by the way. The other number is Ohio State -7.5 at DraftKings. Westgate opened them -8. Earlier in the season, you could have got them -6.
So this is the perfect example, okay? And they didn't even open it at 6.5 because they knew the public's all in on Ohio State. They took it over to the 7.5. Public will push that at least to 9. I guarantee it, to 9 as soon as that opens. They're going on past performance. They're going to take all that into consideration. And listen, I'm not doubting the Ohio State team, but I am going to tell you right now, mark it down. Michigan will cover that game.
These games are just so much fun this week. What do you think of Mississippi State? What do you think that line is?
Where's that one at?
Mississippi State.
State 2 and a hook.
Mississippi -2. So they like Ole Miss and our boy down there. Just sit there and snap the ball every 5 seconds.
Oh, and speaking of Mr. Ole Miss there, Mr. Kiffin, rumor has it that if they let the Miami coach go, that he's going to jump ship and go to Miami. Can't that guy ever sit still?
I don't know. Maybe he's got ants in his pants. Hell, he was a Raider coach at one time. So I think he's funny. I think a lot of stuff, and in a lot of ways, you know what? His brand of football is not one that is sustainable over time. Meaning that once you fix a program or you get your numbers where you want to go fix somebody else or go do something else, because they're going to figure you out. And if that's all you got is gimmicky shit, you're going to lose eventually. You're not going to recruit the same kids that Alabama does, and you're not going to be able to run the ball right down people's throat all the time. So I think that his mentality of jump ship is not necessarily a bad move in his type of style of leadership, if you want to call it.
I agree. So listen, everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you got 2 seconds, all right, how about 5 seconds? Run over to YouTube, East Coast Sports Investors, subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the notifications, and then jump over to Twitch, East Coast Sports Investors. Do the same thing. That's all we ask. You can run over to Twitter, EC Sports Invest, and Scotty right under the bottom here, Webby 20MLB on Twitter. Our DMs are open. Send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Listen, we try to educate with a little entertainment. As you can see, we do have some funny jokes once in a while. But the point here is we're in for the marathon. And we're going to be here next week, next month, next year, and so on and so forth. And we hope you are too. So anyone wagering today, always wager with your head, not your heart. If you have that problem, pick up that phone. There's an 800 number there. Ask for help. Why? Because we care. Okay? Stay in your lane. Don't get over your ski tips. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the 1s. Enjoy the 4s. Enjoy the 8s. And then enjoy us tomorrow morning. So from myself, Jeff Dawson, and Scotty Webb, we wish you the best of luck. Have a blessed day. Cash some tickets. Behave. And see you next week.